Now, on Twitter, there was a story that came out, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it here. And it goes back to the whole subject of ZCC and doctrine. Now, there's been a girl who's been out there trending for all the wrong reasons. She just goes around naked. She walks in the street naked. She doesn't care if kids see her exposing herself. And this country, really, to be honest with you, indecent exposure, it's wrong. But it looks like here we're just out here just allowing whatever to just continue. She's created an entire business of just walking around. Like, if she was doing this at her house, it's another thing. But she's doing this out in the open. It's not like she's hiding herself or anything. She's out in the open, portraying herself in that particular manner. Now, it just came out to how sisters is ZCC. Hey, what is sisters is ZCC? I don't know if she quit. ZCC people can tell us. You can tell us if she's a member. Looks like one of your members is out here doing the most. She went to the last end of it. She went to Jericho and back. She went to visit Samaria. No, Samaria was not doing well. She went to Jericho, You went to upper scale Jericho, lower scale Jericho. There is nowhere she hasn't gone. Not long ago, she even posted that she's actually amassed a fortune from doing this, from businesses paying her for appearing naked next to their business associated with their, you understand, influencing. Now, speaking of influencing, what doctrine does this church influence that made this child to go to these lengths, and it doesn't have any particular lane of correcting such behavior? Now remember, ZCC doesn't have evangelism. ZCC does not have evangelism. They wait for you to get sick, best say you come to their church, and then you'll get the peace of their gospel. But they wait for you to come there. You see, it helps having a theological position on a lot of subjects, whether it be discipleship and so forth. Now, ZCC does talk about, they mustn't do their shenanigans wearing the badge. They love saying that a lot. Yeah, they have no problem with you drinking. They just don't want you to drink wearing their badge. This was kind of like this the story from earlier on. This is why ZCC musicians don't wear the badge when they are singing. They are not allowed by the church, because they saw it in the days of Solomon and whatnot, and all those artists back then. Because some of these artists back then, they'll be out there doing all the most, and then they'll be wearing these badges. So they started telling them, please stop wearing the badge when you're doing your shenanigans, or even when you're doing your music. So you'll note that they don't even wear the badge sometimes in their music, okay? Especially when they are doing their funny jives and whatnot and all those kind of things. But it goes back to the foundations that the Bible gives us. Because there's no evangelism, it has no doctrinal position of sanctification. There is no doctrine of sanctification at ZCC. They just want you to live right. Whatever right is by the standard of the church, it's not sanctification according to what you hear the Bible talk about. That's why I say to ZCC people, research what Christians actually believe. Come on the live stream when we are doing the live streams on Saturday and ask, what do Christians believe? This Saturday live that we are doing this Saturday, it's about things like this. What does the Christian believe about what happens after you are saved? And then mirror the doctrine that you see us practicing, and then mirror it to what you see there. Because a lot of you guys, a lot of these people, they don't even know the Bible at all. You see, if you don't know the Bible, at least hang around people that know the Bible. Don't just claim to believe it while thinking, why? Because then we have no point of correcting. How do you correct that girl? In just decency. A person, once they've been in church, they are very dangerous. When a person was in church and then they go back out to doing things that this girl does, they are very dangerous, because they assume they are associated, they are okay by association. Lazarus and the rich man's story. And the sad part was when she was posting, I think a few days back, saying that, she's now a millionaire. She's now made at least R1 million from influencing. What doctrinal influences has the church had over such people. I'm very interested in knowing, how much does your church teach about discipleship? Do you even know what discipleship is? How do we start the conversation with you about salvation? Why does your church not have evangelism? There's no evangelism at ZCC. No, it's by birth or when you get sick. Why does your church not? Matthew, when Matthew closes, that's literally the message. Go ye into the world. ZCC people don't go ye into the world. They end right Kodi Pale. Why is it that your churches, any church that emphasizes music, be very careful. Churches that emphasize music, it's entertainment. And that's because they can't feed your spirit. So they'll just rather just feed you junk. Whatever fits the moment. Whatever pushes the time. When we are together, let's just push the time. Whatever pushes the time, they just rather do that. What doctrinal position does ZCC have? It was very fun yesterday when I saw people posting that the girl who's been busy out there traumatizing people, walking around naked all over the place, she's part of ZCC. Just point out, I want to show why I'm saying this. If you just point out the wrong without the base ground of authority, which we both say we believe, it creates errors because the person thinks you are doing so in anger, or you are doing so because you want to control them, while as you are doing so out of biblical understanding, saying, no, you are in error according to this. But because your church doesn't emphasize on the Bible, it emphasizes on dikosheng, dikomeng, you are there busy polarizations yourself and whatnot, it ends up muddied up by all the other things that you are doing outside the Bible. How do you correct? Just saying that what you're doing is not right. Have you seen people that you tell that? Do they listen? But when we believe on the same thing, when we come to church and we believe on the same thing, there is a ground by which I'm correcting you. Even when you are walking out away from me, you know that I called you out on something that's really there. That's why we emphasize the Bible. The emphasis is not my church. My church is ZCC. My church is what? The emphasis is the Bible. The note is the Bible. The important thing is the Bible. But because you guys, you avoid that. That's why even when you're going to your churches, when last did you see a ZCC person carrying a Bible? When? If you see a person carrying a Bible going to ZCC church, that person is a pastor. He's someone in leadership at the church. Average members don't carry Bibles. Now someone will say, no, that's because a lot of the people there are not educated. I'm talking about being here in Gauteng. When you see them here, you will not see them carrying a Bible. I've gone to ZCC people's houses. They rarely even have a Bible. If it's there, it's collecting dust. If it's there, it's collecting dust. The only thing that does not collect dust is their uniform. It's put in a very nice place. If they could create a wardrobe specially for that thing, they would have it. You touch it, you get in trouble with them. They protect their uniform, but they don't have a Bible because they emphasize on things that are. This is why your prodigies, they tend to this.